My project is reviving worn-out clothing. At our 501c3 nonprofit company, Saks of Bozeman, we take used clothing, houseware, books, domestic furniture, jewelry, collectibles, and antiques and sell them. All the money that is generated through our business goes to local crisis and help centers. At Saks of Bozeman, we decided we wanted to help the growing problem of textile waste. From the Advancing Sustainable Materials Management fact sheet put out every year by the Environmental Protection Agency, we can see the ever-increasing amount of textile waste generated in the United States. In 1960, 1.7 million tons of waste was generated. In 2017, 16.9 million tons of textile waste was generated. Impulse buying has influenced this increase of waste. Out of wardrobe, people will buy clothing that they do not need. With these wasteful practices in mind, our company at Saks wanted to make a difference. Currently, our company takes in used clothing which helps divert waste from landfills. With this project, we would be able to divert even more waste. Our project starts by informing individuals that all clothing, even clothing that is very worn out, will now be accepted at Saks for donation. Using the criteria we have now for clothing that is sellable, we will evaluate clothing items that come in. Clothing that is too worn out will be stored until the third Saturday of the month. At that time, high school and college volunteers from the sustainability clubs will meet. Together, the volunteers will cut fabric into large pieces or cut fabric into strips for yarn. Once all the clothing is cut, we will divide into 3 groups, one for designing, one for sewing, and one for knitting. Food will be provided to encourage volunteers to come help. Once the pieces of clothing have been made, the clothing will be sold at Saks and add additional revenue source for the local crisis and help centers. We are asking for $5,000 for our budget. A majority of that money will be used for 10 sewing machines that will be purchased to make this project a success. $1,200 will be used for food for the year. Each month, volunteers will get together and food will be brought to encourage involvement in our project. The rest of the money will be used for pattern fabric, scissors, cutting mats, rotary blades, and cutters, knitting supplies, and sewing notions. Sewing notions include things like elastic, zippers, and buttons. These will be bought on a need basis. Our timeline starts on August 1st when we receive our funding. On August 2nd, we will start to inform our community we are taking in worn clothing items. Additionally, on the 2nd, we will buy the supplies laid out in our budget. On August 15th, our first project meeting will occur. During this time, we will design and make clothing to be sold at Saks. The next project meeting will happen on September 19th and continue every third Saturday of the month. Our project will succeed because when people go to thrift stores, they are looking for unique pieces. The handmade clothing that will be made from this project will fit right into that unique look that people are looking for when they go to thrift shops. There is also the added benefit of clothing that is made through this project can be customized just for Saks. This means that if Saks has an excess of something like shirts and they cannot fit any more in their store, then that month for our project, we will not make shirts. We will make different clothing items instead. Another reason why this project will succeed is because of the community support we have for our business. This review, my friends and I love to visit Saks and find awesome treasures. The staff is wonderful and the atmosphere is genuine thrift store experience. We have found many amazing items and love to repurpose. This review shows the support that we have in the community. With this support, it will be a guarantee that people will donate and there will be people who will buy our unique handmade product. The importance of this project comes from an environmental need. The never-ending production of textile waste is a big problem, with 16.9 million tons of textiles being thrown out a year in the U.S. We live at a time of fast fashion, and reducing textile waste is a must. There is also the importance of the impact this project will have in our community. This project will bring increased revenue for crisis and help centers, which is always a must. We asked for $5,000 to improve our community and make an impact of the world of fast fashion. Our sources are listed below, and we want to thank you for considering our grant that will have a great impact on the environment and our local crisis and help centers.